Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are going to dive into a super common question in English. When do you use will and when do you use going to? You know, getting this right can totally change how you talk about your future, your plans, and even your biggest dreams. So let's get into it. All right, so let's just kick things off with a simple question for you. What will you do right after you finish this explainer? Just think about it for a second. Your answer, and more importantly, how you say it, is exactly what we're going to break down today.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the word will. The best way to think about will is that it's your go-to for things that are immediate, spontaneous. The stuff you decide right on the spot.
So here's the deal. We use will for two main things. First, for decisions we make right now, in the moment of speaking. And second, for just simple predictions about the future, like if you look outside and say, I think it will rain tomorrow.
This is a perfect example of one of those quick decisions. I mean, you probably didn't wake up this morning with a detailed plan to drink water at this exact moment, right? The thought just popped into your head. It's spontaneous. So you say, I will drink a big glass of water.
And it's the exact same logic here. You suddenly realize, hey, I'm a little hungry. That thought enters your head right now. It's a quick decision, not something you planned yesterday. So you'd say, I think I will eat a sandwich. And of course, what about the negative? Super simple. We just squish will not together to get won't. So you could say, you know what? I will eat a sandwich, but I won't eat a pizza. Easy enough, right?
Okay, so let's flip the coin. If will is for those spur-of-the-moment decisions, then going to is all about your real, concrete plans. This is for the stuff you've already thought about.
And this, right here, is the absolute key difference. We use going to when we're talking about something we've already decided to do. The decision was made before this very moment. It's a plan, an intention that already exists. Now, grammatically, going to always teams up with the verb to be. So you just have to match it up correctly. I am going to, he is going to, and they are going to. When you use this structure, you're signaling to everyone that you're talking about a definite plan.
For example, visiting your parents on Saturday, that's probably not a spontaneous idea you just had. You've likely already arranged it, maybe it's even in your calendar. Because it's a plan, you say, I am going to visit my parents.
And think about this one too. You've probably thought about it. Maybe you even have the book sitting on your nightstand. The intention is already there. It is a plan, not a sudden whim, so you use going to. Next week, I am going to start a new book.
Okay, let's put this all side by side so it really clicks. Here's the core difference. Will is for a decision made now. Going to is for a plan made before now. Seriously, if you remember that one thing, you've pretty much mastered this.
But you know, this isn't just about grammar rules. This is actually about how we talk about our lives, about our biggest dreams and the actual concrete steps we take to make them happen. And this is where it gets really powerful. Will is actually perfect for expressing a big, far-off dream. You know, one day I will write a book. But to turn that dream into reality, you need plans. And that's where going to comes in. This month, I am going to write one page every day. See that? The dream needs a plan to become real. And that leads to this really empowering idea. The future isn't just something that happens to you. By making plans,
By deciding what you are going to do, you actually become the author of your own story.
And hey, to make your future statements even clearer, here are some really useful time words. Whether you're making a quick decision for tonight or a huge long-term plan for in 10 years, these little words are your best friends for framing your intentions.
So, let's end right where we started, but with a new perspective. We've seen how will is for dreams and going to is for plans. So now the question is all yours. Your future really is unwritten. The big question isn't just what you will do one day. It's what are you going to do tomorrow to make it happen. Thanks for joining me today.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're cutting through some real confusion around a topic that's just essential.
Absolutely. If you want to sound credible, maybe ambitious, definitely professional when you're talking about the future in English.
Exactly. We're looking at how to choose between those two main future forms, will and going to.
It sounds like a tiny grammar point, doesn't it?
It does.
But, for anyone listening who wants to learn fast and communicate better, this choice is kind of everything.
Right. It signals whether you're just having a quick thought or if you're talking about like a serious step towards a goal.
A non-negotiable step, even.
Precisely. So we've looked at some material focused exactly on this subtle difference. And our mission today is really to get past the basic rules you see in textbooks.
Yeah, focus on the intent. Because when you speak, you're telling people how committed you are right from the first word.
You really are. You need to know exactly which one says what you mean.
Okay, let's unpack this. First up, will.
Will. In simple terms, will is your go-to for the, let's say, instant future.
The instant future, yeah. Or maybe think of it as the spontaneous choice, or just a simple prediction.
Spontaneous, I like that.
The magic of will is really its speed and its simplicity. You use it when the decision pops into your head right now.
In the moment of speaking.
Exactly.
And that spontaneous feel is why the structure is so easy, isn't it?
Totally. You just slot in will and the basic verb. Done.
Works for I, you, he, she, they, everyone.
No tricky changes needed. It's effortless, which kind of mirrors the effortless decision.
Like closing a meeting, you suddenly remember something.
Yeah. You turn to your colleague. Oh, wait, I will send that document right now.
Right. You didn't plan that last night.
No way. It's a reaction to right now.
Or just, feeling thirsty. You think, I think I will drink a big glass of water.
A tiny, immediate commitment. Simple.
And it's also what we use for simple predictions, right? Especially about things we don't really control.
Definitely. Like asking, will it be sunny tomorrow? It's just a guess about the weather. We haven't checked the forecast necessarily.
Okay, structure's simple, but let's quickly hit the practical bits. Negatives.
Oh, yeah. Will not.
Yeah.
It nearly always becomes won't.
So I will help you move the furniture, but I won't lift the piano. Something like that.
Exactly. Or I will eat a sandwich, but I won't eat a pizza.
And questions. Just flip it.
Just flip it. Will you come to the party? Will she call later? Easy.
Okay, but I have a genuine question here. Thinking about our listeners, often in busy professional settings, if I say I will finish that project by Friday, is that spontaneous? Or is it a plan? Because Friday feels planned.
That's a great question. That's exactly where things get fuzzy and where misunderstandings can happen.
Right.
When you say, I will finish it, you're making an immediate promise. Or maybe a prediction. It sounds polite, committed. But will doesn't really require that you've already, blocked out time on your calendar or actually started.
So it's strong intent, but maybe lacks the concrete proof of planning.
Exactly. It implies you intend to strongly, but not necessarily that the steps are already in place.
Okay. So if will is the polite promise, the instant choice, the simple guess, what do I use when I need to sound like totally locked in, scheduled, committed?
Right. That's where we switch gears completely. We bring in going to.
Okay.
If will is about being agile, maybe flexible, going to is about structure. It's pretty much mandatory when you're talking about a real plan, something you decided before right now.
Before the moment of speaking, that's the key.
That is the absolute key.
So the phrase itself is longer, more effort. Is that part of the signal that it's more serious?
I think so, yeah. It's the difference between saying, oh, I will start exercising soon, which, let's be honest, is often just a wish.
We've all said that.
And saying, this evening, I am going to join that new gym down the street and sign up for the induction. That's a schedule. That sounds real.
It does. It sounds like action.
Yeah. Or telling your friends, on Saturday, I'm going to visit my parents. You're not just deciding that now.
No, you probably already arranged it, checked your calendar.
Maybe bought the train ticket. It's settled. It's a done deal.
Okay. And what's fascinating here is the structure itself changes, doesn't it? Because the intent changes.
Exactly. This is where you signal the effort. Unlike the simplicity of will, going to absolutely requires the verb to be.
Right. The am, is, or are matched to the subject.
You have to match it. No shortcuts like I going to. It sounds wrong.
So you need subject plus armissary plus going to plus the basic verb.
Correct. That little bit of extra grammatical work, that's like the signature of commitment.
It anchors the plan. He is going to apply for that job. We are going to launch next week.
Exactly. The verb to be grounds it in reality, grammatically speaking.
That structural effort, it actually helps communication, doesn't it? It forces me, the speaker, to think, is this really planned? If yes, I need that armissary.
He really does. It makes you check your own commitment level before you even speak.
Okay, so going to for prior plans, what about predictions? You said will is for simple guesses.
Yes. Good point. There's a key difference here for predictions, too. We use going to for predictions based on present evidence, something you can see or sense right now.
Okay, hang on. Will is a general guess, like, it'll probably snow in winter.
Right. No specific evidence right now.
But going to is like looking out the window at black clouds.
Exactly. You wouldn't just say, it will rain. You'd say, whoa, look at those clouds. It is going to rain.
Because the evidence is right there.
Yeah.
Concrete. Visible.
Precisely. Or you see someone wobbling with a huge stack of dishes.
Oh, no.
You'd guess he is going to drop them.
Okay. Immediate prediction, clear present evidence leading to an obvious result. That's a going to situation.
That's a really key distinction. It's not just about plans.
That makes the vacation example even clearer then.
How so?
Well, if I'm talking about my trip next month, I've probably got tickets, maybe a hotel booking.
Right. Concrete evidence of a plan.
So I have to use going to reflect that reality. Next month, I'm going to travel to the coast. If I said I will travel, it sounds flaky, like I just thought of it.
Exactly. It would sound like a hope, not a plan.
This whole distinction, instant choice will versus concrete plan going to, it leads us straight into the really interesting part of this, applying it to bigger goals, dreams, ambitions.
Yes. This is where grammar becomes almost psychological, a tool for how you frame your future.
And the material we looked at showed a clear split, didn't it?
A very clear split. Will tends to be used for the big vision, the strong belief about who you want to become or what you believe will happen far off.
Like the dream goal. One day I will be a doctor, or I will speak English fluently someday.
These are powerful statements of belief, aren't they? But they're often quite distant. They represent the why.
The big motivation.
Exactly. But if you just leave it there with will, they often stay dreams.
So the actual steps, the concrete actions you need to take to get there.
Those need going to. They represent the how.
Okay, so for the doctor dream, the plan might be, next year, I am going to study biology.
Perfect. That's specific. Planned action. Or for fluency. Starting Monday, I am going to practice speaking for 30 minutes every single day.
Actionable, measurable, scheduled. That's the going to territory.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, think about professional credibility. Imagine you're pitching something. If you keep saying, we will increase your sales, we will develop a new product, it can sound a bit hopeful, maybe tentative.
Right. Like you believe it, but you haven't quite worked out how.
But if you shift to going for the concrete steps, next quarter, we're going to implement the strategy we finalized last week, or we're going to allocate 15% more budget to R&D starting now.
That sounds much more solid, like the plan exists, the resources are there, it builds confidence.
Huge confidence booster. The source material had this great analogy about writing a book. It really clicked for me.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. The dream is stated with will.
One day, I will write a children's book. That's the big, maybe slightly fuzzy aspiration.
Okay. And the plan?
The plan uses going to. This month, I am going to write 1 page every single day.
Specific, actionable, daily.
And look at the immediate result of that going to commitment. 1 page a day. Suddenly, that's 30 pages by the end of the month.
Wow, okay. So the going to structure, Reflecting that scheduled small step makes the big will dream feel achievable. It connects them.
It absolutely connects them. It shows how small, committed actions build towards the larger vision. The grammar choice actually mirrors your level of mental and practical preparation.
So if you haven't done the prep work, cleared the time, bought the ticket, made the budget, you can't really use going to, honestly.
You really can't. Or, well, you can, but it misrepresents your readiness.
So the lesson is, using will when you really mean going to because you have planned it can make you sound less committed than you are. Or vice versa, using going to without a real plan sounds a bit empty.
Exactly. Respect the grammar that reflects the work you've actually done or haven't done yet.
Okay, so let's quickly summarize and maybe throw in those useful time words that often pop up.
Good idea. Lots of common time markers work with either tense, really. It just depends on your intention, like we've been saying.
Words like tomorrow, tonight, next week, next month, next year.
Yep. And you also often see in plus a time period.
Right, like I'm going to start the new project in 2 days. That sounds planned.
Or I think I will probably retire in about 10 years. That sounds more like a general prediction or hope.
So the time words themselves don't force the choice.
Not at all. Your intention forces the choice.
Yeah.
Quick promise for tomorrow. I will call you tomorrow. Doctor's appointment already booked for next week. I'm going to see the doctor next week.
Okay, got it. Let's do one final super clear review. The core takeaway.
Right. If you remember just one thing, remember this.
Use will for.
An instant decision made right now. A simple prediction without strong evidence. A polite promise. Or that big, distant dream or aspiration. And it's grammatically easy.
Okay. And use going to for
A specific plan or intention decided before you started speaking. A prediction based on clear, present evidence. Or any commitment that involves concrete scheduled steps. And remember, it needs that extra grammatical step, am, is, or are.
So what does this all mean? It means your word choice really defines your commitment level.
It absolutely does.
Choosing the right one makes it clear if something is just an idea floating around or if it's a concrete schedule action moving you forward.
Couldn't say it better. And that leads us to a final thought, maybe a challenge for everyone listening. Inspired by that goal-setting idea.
Okay, let's hear it. This is your homework.
Homework time. First step. Identify your biggest, most inspiring future goal. Think big.
That's your will statement, right? One day I will, fill in the blank. Describe that huge, maybe distant dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get that will statement clear in your mind. Now, here's the crucial part, the second step.
The action part.
The action part. What concrete, non-negotiable step that's your going to statement are you making towards that big goal starting tomorrow?
Ooh, specific. Not just soon, but tomorrow.
Tomorrow. What action are you going to schedule or do right now for tomorrow?
That single scheduled action, that's the bridge, isn't it? Between the will, dream, and making it real.
It's the bridge. It's the commitment made visible. Remember what we learned today. The future isn't written yet.
But you're going to write it. Love that.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into, well, the language of getting things done.
Keep thinking about that distinction, keep practicing, and apply it. It makes a difference.
It really does. We'll talk to you next time.
Goodbye.